Buffs, heals, and Reborn, oh my. We'll get to see a lot of synergistic cards in today's review.
Who's up for an adventure?
For anyone who hasn't seen the other card reviews, let's just give a heads up that we do not use normal 5-star ratings for these reviews. Rather, we rate them based on whether they would fit into a current meta deck, so meta now, are likely to work in a meta deck when the expansion comes out, or meta later, and most importantly, if they will enable or inspire a combo or meme deck, aka meme deck worthy. For those of you without much time, there's a time code in the description below for quick reviews. For everyone else, let's get into the detailed reviews. Starting us off is Wild Bloodstinger, a 6-mana 6/9 hunter beast with the battle cry, summon a minion from your opponent's hand and attack it. This is crazy powerful. It's a big-bodied, dirty rat for hunter. While it doesn't have taunt, it has potential immediate removal. Of course, if you summon a massive minion which doesn't die, or a death rattle minion that actually helps your opponent, you can get punished pretty hard. But the same was true for Dirty Rat. And if you know your opponent is playing a combo deck and this won't take care of the minion alone, you can prepare to use 3 to 4 mana on top to finish their minion off. Most of the current meta hunters wouldn't slot this in, but mid-range hunter might consider opening a slot to fit this in as a powerful removal, and a huge target for Dire Frenzy. In that deck, it probably would be meta now. And it will definitely be meta later, as it'll be easier to build a deck synergizing with this, and the combo breaking potential is so high. There's no way this doesn't find a home in the new meta. The stats on this are enormous, and it's only 6 mana. It's finally time for Immerse to shine. Turn 10, play Immerse, doubling the health and attack on this. Turn 11, play Wild Bloodstinger and Dire Frenzy. Turn 12, play Faceless Manipulator on this. Will it be near impossible to pull off? Yep. Are we going to do it anyways? You bet. And to help make Wild Bloodstinger even easier to play, hunters get Scarlet Web Weaver as well. It's a 6-mana 5/5 beast whose battle cry reduces the cost of a random beast in your hand by 5. A copy or two of this would probably be able to slot into mid-range hunter, as the power together with Tundra Rhino is off the charts, and would enable some powerful finishing turns. The power level of this card makes me think that the mana curve for mid-range hunter will be raising a bit with the upcoming expansion. Whatever happens, I'm sure this will find a home in a meta deck as well. Oh, and the combos this will enable. Yes, this is definitely a card which will allow some remarkable strategies that wouldn't work otherwise. And yes, I'll take a King Crush for 4 mana. Sure. And to support Druid's new game plan, they get the 6-mana spell Hidden Oasis. It's a choose one spell that summons a 6/6 with taunt or restores 12 health. Here's what the Vernal Ancient looks like. While a 6/6 with taunt for 6 mana isn't bad, and restoring 12 health for 6 is okay, doing both at once for 6 will be crazy good. This is clearly meant to help druids who have taken a fair bit of damage due to the inefficient mana usage while trying to complete their quest by healing up and putting a roadblock in the way. It's an excellent card that will definitely find a home in the new meta, but it doesn't fit into Token Druid, which is the only current meta druid deck. And thinking about its meme deck worthiness, we return to our 100% choose one synergy deck. With this in there, it may actually win some games. And now we get to see the first Reborn minion for today, the 1-mana 1/1 Murloc, Mermy. It's Mecharoo for Murlocs. I'm not certain which one breaks the game more, but if we were to include Wild, I think this one wins due to the sheer number of synergies available. It's so busted, there's no way Murloc Shaman wouldn't run this right now if they could, and it will definitely find a home in the new meta as well, including with the next card we'll cover. But first, does this help enable or inspire a meme deck? Yes, actually. Together with the 8-mana summon 7 Murlocs Paladin spell in a Shirvala deck from the last review, as well as the Taunt Reborn warrior we'll be building, this gives both decks more power and the chance to pull off some wacky combos. And to use the Reborn Murloc we just reviewed, we have the following quest for our favorite sophisticated Murloc, making mummies. Sir Finley Murgleton's quest is to play 5 Reborn minions. The reward is the Emperor Raps, a new hero power which allows us to summon a 2/2 copy of a friendly minion. While there aren't too many Reborn minions which have been revealed yet, I doubt Blizzard would undercut this quest by failing to print enough Reborn minions to support it. This will be amazing with death rattles and cards like that, but I also wonder if silencing the 2/2 copy will allow it to revert to full size. If so, there's going to be some really interesting plays we can make with this. Of course, there are no Reborn minions in the game at the moment, so this is not meta now. However, I believe the payoff will be good enough that if the rest of the Reborn minions released are anywhere near the power level of the currently revealed minions, including some later in this review, this will definitely be meta later. Now, this is not really a meme card itself, and the results aren't particularly meme-worthy either. However, it will enable some bizarre board states that wouldn't otherwise be possible. In Wild, I see discounted Blood of the Ancient Ones transforming into the Ancient One, followed by, the next turn, a copy of the Ancient One, which should revert to full size if silenced. I would be shocked if we make it longer than a week before someone figures out a crazy combo with this. And Discard Warlock finally gets the support it really needed. Expired Merchant is a 2-mana 2/1 with a battlecry that discards your highest card, but a death rattle that adds 2 copies of it to your hand. This minion is going to enable some absurd games. It pleasantly dodges silence by being easy to kill with Mortal Coil and other Warlock cards looking to use a minion's death to your advantage. When first looking at this card, I was thinking exclusively of the combo and value potential, but it could actually slot quite nicely into the current Zulocks. It is aggressively statted, not too expensive, and a perfect target for Grim Rally or Evil Genius. And you could potentially get an extra Sea Giant or Leroy to your hand to help finish out the game. It's actually meta now. Due to this, and the awesome combo potential, including Infinite Soul Wardens, Expired Merchant will definitely be a meta card later as well. The possibilities are actually infinite. Infinite Soul Wardens, High Priestess Jeklik, and some other meme cards that never get to see play can be enabled by this. Too bad the discard quest is no longer in standard. I guess we'll be venturing back to Wild again this expansion. Next up is Whirl Kick Master, a 2-mana 1/2 for Rogue, which reads, whenever you play a combo card, add a random combo card to your hand. As it only costs 2 mana, it won't be difficult to play this together with a combo card, though there's no guarantee the combo card you get off this will be cheap enough to keep the momentum going. A few of the combo cards are really powerful, but there are quite a few that are not particularly powerful unless you've built your deck to support them, so there are some real whiffs. Tempo Rogue doesn't play enough combo cards to make use of this, but Hooktuck's Rogue typically plays 7 combo cards. They could get value from it, but I'm not sure that they would value it over any other cards in the deck. It could potentially replace a Nightmare Amalgam, though that would hurt the slight mech synergy in the deck, mainly reducing the heal potential from Ziliax. It's a really close toss-up whether they would choose the extra value versus the potential extra healing, but as Rogue doesn't have much to help with their healing, I think it just barely doesn't make the cut for now. Unless a number of powerful combo cards come out to offset the number of whiffs this card has, I don't think it will be powerful enough to make it into the meta later. However, the highlight potential of getting multiple Edwin Van Cleefs, Coldbloods, and Eviscerates for insane burst damage with this means some meme decks will definitely run this. It will be interesting to build an entirely combo synergy deck as well. And one of the cards to use in our meme combo deck would be the new weapon for Rogue, the Hooked Scimitar, a 3-mana 2/2 Rogue weapon, which will gain 2 attack if you combo it out. While it is 1 mana less than the Waggle Pick, it requires comboing out to get the value out of this, and it doesn't have the upside of the Waggle Pick Death Rattle offers. It will allow Dread Corsairs to come out a turn earlier if you have the coin or a backstab target, as it requires a combo to get the extra attack, so some hyper-aggressive decks may consider running it. Hooktusk Rogue would not use this, And the benefits Tempo Rogue gets out of the Waggle Pick far outweigh the advantage of this in current builds, so it would not be meta now. If a hyper-aggressive deck which can use this effectively develops, this will be meta later, but I honestly think there are better options. And even a hyper-aggressive deck may still prefer Waggle Pick for the extra finishing burst damage potential. However, it can go into a combo synergy deck as a decent activator for Whirl Kickmaster, so we'll say it can find its way into a meme deck. Next, Warrior gets the 1 mana spell Into the Fray, which gives all taunt minions in your hand +2 attack and health. 1 mana to give a minion in your hand +2/+2 is not bad, and the possibility to get this on multiple minions makes this card extremely powerful in a taunt-centric deck. The question is, can a deck with a lot of taunts compete against decks like Control Warrior and Bomb Warrior? The only taunt that Control and Bomb Warrior run at the moment is Ziliax, and this is really powerful with him, but it wouldn't be worth running this just above 1 card in your deck, so not meta now. That being said, it does seem like a number of tools are coming up to make Taunt Warrior a thing, and as mentioned, if this can land on multiple taunts, the value is amazing. With this and the other synergies, as well as the overwhelming power of Dr. Boom Mad Genius, who could be thrown in, Taunt Warrior can almost certainly become at least a tier 3 deck, meaning meta later. In a previous review, we noted that we'll be making an almost entirely taunt-centered deck, which is very meme-worthy. So yes, this fits right in. And the class that likes hurting itself, Warlock, gets the Diseased Vulture, a 4 mana beast with 3 attack and 5 health that summons a random 3-cost minion after your hero takes damage on your turn. Not only does this work perfectly with the base Warlock hero power, but a ton of other cards will be able to activate this. The only deck that might not want to run this would be the New Quest Warlock, as the hero power wouldn't activate it later in the game. It's a bit expensive for a zoo deck, but the pressure it can provide, along with the synergy with Sea Giants and the fact that Zulocks are constantly tapping anyways, makes me think this could slot into the current zoo decks. For this reason, and other builds which will likely be able to take advantage of this, I'm pretty sure it'll be meta later as well. Who knows, maybe Blood Witch will finally see some play. Probably not, but we can build some decks to flood the board with 3-drops. So this makes it into the meme deck worthy category too. And Priest, well, I mean all classes, get access to the Neferset Ritualist, a 2-mana 2/3 neutral minion with a battle cry which restores adjacent minions to full health. With the Reborn mechanic coming up, I'd say this is likely to get a lot of play, especially in Priest. I started to think that Big Shaman might use this at the moment, but it would be a terrible target for Muckmorpher and Eureka. However, Control Shaman does run some sizable minions, and Dragon Mage also has some massive minions, so the question is, would the effect be worth pulling something else out of their decks? Maybe, but probably not. It doesn't make meta now in my mind. But with all the Reborn mechanics, and the Priest Legendary coming up later in this review, I'm certain Neferset Ritualist will make his way into the meta later. The potential for this card to heal up minions necessary to pull off some meme combos makes it an enabler for some of the upcoming meme decks. Also, I'm kinda curious if there will be a way to use this in Priest when they make their heals do damage instead. It could kill off a friendly minion you'd want to die. I think this would work that way, but I don't see the puzzle pieces coming together quite yet. We'll figure something out. And for Taunt synergy, we get the 3-mana Infested Goblin, a 2/3 neutral with Death Rattle that adds 2 1/1 Scarabs with Taunt to your hand. This is what the Scarab looks like. Its stats aren't impressive at 3 mana, but the multiple taunts and the token synergies give him some hope. Who knows, maybe the Beast tag on the Scarabs will be enough to get hunters to consider running it. There aren't any decks in the meta now that would love this for its taunt tag, so the question is, could it earn a place in a token deck? Token Druid seems to be leaning towards mech synergies more at the moment, and this is fairly expensive for the stats in a Zoo Warlock. It might earn a place in a slower Zoo deck with Arc Villain Rafam, but I don't think it quite makes the cut. However, Warriors will be able to make decent use of this in the upcoming expansion, And there may be other decks which arise and are able to use the triple taunt on this card more effectively. So I'm hopeful that this poor goblin can make his way into the meta later. As for meme worthiness, Taunt Warrior all the way. And as noted earlier, there may be some ways to use this to help Hunter stall long enough to pull off some bizarre combos, especially taking into consideration that Dino Tamer brand decks will only be able to run single copies of cards. This could go a long way in the how many King Crushes can we summon deck. If you want to go big, you can use Anubisath Warbringer, a 9 mana 9/6 neutral with a death rattle which reads, give all minions in your hand +3/+3. The effect is great, but the mana cost and stats make it so that unless you can cheat this out, it'll be difficult to use. There is one deck in the meta now which might actually be able to use this giant jackal effectively, Big Shaman. With the ability to cheat him out and his buff potential to other massive minions left in hand, I think Big Shaman would actually consider running a single copy of this guy. So yeah, actually meta now. Anubisath might also find his way into a plot twist Warlock deck with the new quest, as he will be powerful enough off of Fell Lord Betru, Dollmaster Dorian, and for 0 mana off the Tome of Origin, the new Warlock quest reward. Of course, you don't want to plot twist again after he's buffed all your minions, but the high roll potential is huge. I think Quest Plot Twist will be at least a tier 3 deck, and this Warbringer can work with it. If he's not meta with Quest Plot Twist, he'll definitely be meme worthy. And who knows, maybe we can figure out a Death Rattle Buff Rogue or Zarek's Cloning Gallery Psychopomp list to overwhelm our opponent and pull off some insane shenanigans with him. One of the more resilient denizens of Uldum is this new 5 mana 4/2 neutral with Stealth and Reborn, the Wasteland Assassin. As she comes back with Stealth as well, against anything but Warpath, you'll definitely be getting value out of her. She's rather expensive at 5 mana, but most of the time she's better than an 8/3 with Stealth, so pretty good value. That being said, she doesn't seem to fit into any of the current meta decks. She can't remove anything immediately for a control deck, and she doesn't have any tribal tags for synergy, and her low health total makes her a weak buff target, so she's not meta now. I believe that Sir Finley Murgleton's quest will be able to survive into the meta. And not just because she's the second neutral Reborn minion to be revealed, but because Stealth with Reborn is just so powerful. I believe she will make her way into the new meta. And she'll definitely make her way into some Reborn Taunt Warrior decks. She's also a pretty good target for a Paladin buff deck centered around hand buffs and on board buffs. There are a number of options which become possible with this combination of skills. Warrior's new quest is Hack the System. When you attack 5 times with your hero, you'll be rewarded with the new hero power, Enrifit's Core. Enrifit's Core allows you to summon a 4/3 golem for 2 mana, and after your hero attacks, it gets refreshed. As you can see, the stone golem is not an elemental or anything else with synergies, but not a bad body for 2 mana. Soulthraze might actually see some play. Though, until Dr. Boom and Mad Genius rotates out, I'm not sure anybody besides meme deck players will even bother with this. With both copies of Weapons Project and Super Collider, Control Warrior could pull this off, and while 4/3s for 2 mana aren't bad, Control Warrior survives with extra armor from the hero power, and would definitely not want to pass up on Dr. Boom's hero powers, so they would not run it. For the same reasons, it's highly unlikely this makes it into the meta later either. However, with Soulthraze and a few other weapons, maybe Dr. Boom's scheme finally sees some play as a way to keep us alive long enough to fill the board with 4/3s. Of course, our opponents will just kill them all with a single board clear card, but it'll be worth it. Right? Right? It's so bad right now, it'll have to be a meme just to play it. And to buff their minions and enable some crazy combos, Priest's new legendary minion is High Priest Ahmet, who has 2 attack and 7 health for 4 mana. His text reads, whenever you summon a minion, set its health equal to this minion's. This card utterly destroys the biggest drawback to playing Psychopomp if it's on the board. as the 1 health minion becomes 7 health or more, depending on if you were able to buff High Priest Ahmet. I wonder if Reborn triggering counts as summoning a minion. If so, there are even more broken ways to use this, including with a card we will cover in a moment. The only priest deck within the top 3 tiers at the moment is the combo Mech Priest. Everything except unpowered Steambot in the deck would benefit from having this guy in the deck, making it more consistent. So yeah, meta now. Due to the sheer power level of this effect, and the possibilities with him buffing up to be even bigger, if there is a priest deck within the meta during the next expansion, Ahmet almost certainly finds himself in it. Can Stone Tusk Boar, Power Word Shield, Divine Spirit, Topsy-Turvy combo, would this become meta? Probably not, but it will be a remarkably fun combo. Next up is possibly the biggest Reborn minion we'll see, Colossus of the Moon, a 10 mana 10/10 neutral legendary with Divine Shield and Reborn. Wow, that's big. And expensive. This will be great coming off of 10 mana minion generation cards. Is it meta now? Yeah, it'll go nicely into Big Shaman. Sure. And is it meta later? Well, if Big Shaman is able to hold on with him, then yes. This may be a bit too expensive to run in Paladin's new quest, though getting a 2/2 copy that comes back with Divine Shield and 10 attack would be awesome. Just over a 50% chance this guy makes his way into the new meta as well. And this is like a neutral Tyrantus in terms of meme worthiness. Just playing this will probably be meme worthy, and we're sure to find some fun ways to use him. We finally get to see the new Hunter secret, Pressure Plate. This secret triggers after your opponent casts a spell, destroying a random enemy minion. It's a deadly shot for 1 mana less, but your opponent controls when it goes off. It's not amazing, but it will be one more thing people have to play around. Secret Hunter might consider running 1 copy just to have some variety, so we'll give it meta now. As the secret synergies available to Hunter are so strong, and this does practically guarantee killing a minion at some point later in the game, some meta decks will probably include a copy. However, other than the artwork, it doesn't really inspire anything exciting, so not meme deck worthy. And the next to last card for today is the Plague for Warrior. Expensive, Sleep with the Fishes. Plague of Wrath. A 5 mana spell that destroys all damaged minions. While much more expensive than the old warrior control card, Sleep with the Fishes, it guarantees all injured minions die. Well, at least for once, no matter how big they are. It's a 2-card combo, but this plus Warpath can resolve some boards that Warpath and Brawl can't currently. Control and Bomb Warrior would likely be glad to trade in one of their Brawls for one of these. As the Reborn mechanic will bring back minions in an injured state, Warrior will almost certainly want to run this in their control-oriented decks. They may just run it on top of Brawl and Warpath for another set of ways to ensure their iron fist of control stays intact. This is a powerful effect and can help clear the board to prepare for interesting combos. But at 5 mana, it's not easy to combo with other things on the same turn, and other cards are about as good at preparing for crazy plays. As this doesn't inspire anything on its own, it doesn't earn meme-worthy status. Even mummies have mummies. And grand mummies, it seems. Sorry. Priest gets another Reborn card, the 2-mana 1/2 Grand Mummy. She has Reborn and a Death Rattle which gives a friendly minion +1/+1. The buffs are nice, but I don't think this would actually work well with combo Mech Priest, and they wouldn't be able to survive removing a card draw card, so not meta now. However, the resilience of Reborn and the buff opportunity with the option Priest has to bring minions back makes me think a deck using this might be able to make it in the new meta. Let's give it meta later status. Grand Mummy. This might make an okay inclusion in Zarek's Cloning Gallery deck, but there's a different deck that might be interesting to try out. How hard will it be for an opponent to deal with a board full of Grand Mummies of different health and a Spirit of Dead to shuffle more copies into your deck? With Seance, Shadowy Figure, Vivid Nightmare, and Power Word Replicate, we can bring about the Grand Mummy Apocalypse. Let's go. Okay, that's all the cards. Now for the quick reviews. Wild Bloodstinger gets a passing marks in each category. Scarlet Webweaver also passes each category with flying colors. Hidden Oasis is not meta now, but meta later, and fits into a meme-worthy deck. Mermy is Super Saiyan strong, so meta now, meta later, and even meme-worthy. Making Mummies is not meta now, but meta later, and meme deck-worthy. Expired Merchant is awesome for all categories. Whirlkick Master is just barely not meta now, probably not meta later, but very meme-worthy. Hook Scimitar is not meta now, nor meta later, but can join a meme deck. Into the Fray isn't meta now, but it earns meta later, and taunt memes are coming. Disease Vulture wins all categories. Neverset Ritualist doesn't make it into the meta now, but it will be meta later, and it enables some interesting meme decks. Infested Goblin is not meta now, probably meta later, and meme deck worthy. Anubisath Warbringer, surprisingly, gets a pass in all categories. Wasteland Assassin is not meta now, will be meta later, and probably enables some meme decks. Hack the System is a big fat nope. But sure, it's a meme deck. High Priest Ahmet is actually meta now, definitely meta later, and is a meme deck enabler. Colossus of the Moon is massively expensive, but makes meta now, possibly meta later, and definitely meme-worthy. Pressure Plate makes it into the meta now and later, but doesn't inspire or enable the memes. Plague of Wrath is meta now, meta later, but not really meme deck-worthy. And Grand Mummy is not meta now, but meta later, and Grand Mummy Apocalypse meme-worthy. And that's a wrap. Of course, this is a subjective review, but I'm making some pretty direct predictions. Let me know in the comments below if you think I missed something. You agree or disagree with something I said. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring. See you!